Hey YouTube, it's me Shay of ridiculouscousins.com and welcome back to my channel. As always, love having you guys here, and it is Sunday, you guys, and I am back on my schedule with the Ask Shay videos. I promise y'all, I heard y'all, some of y'all like legit was upset with me after the Ask Shay video is so long, but I am back today. We're gonna start a little bit slow. We're gonna go with a little bit more lighthearted, and then we're gonna move into the deeper stuff as the weeks go by. But so I don't want to waste no more time because y'all have been waiting for these damn videos, and I swear I love you. I promise I love you. And we're just gonna hop right into these videos. Hey Shay, I really enjoy your Ask Shay videos and hope that you would consider my letter. I'm 27 years old, just moved to Houston. I got a new job, I have my own place, and pretty much just doing my own thing. The one part of my life that everyone says I need to work on is my love life. I date casually and I have a couple of guys I see exclusively sexually, which to be honest, I'm totally okay with. Those encounters are on my terms and no strings attached. My best friend says that I need to think about settling down because 30 is around the corner. She also feels that being that I'm a plus size girl, the men I see or sleep with are using me because I am a big girl. She always says that She says that I always play into the plus size girl stereotype. She says that I go after men because I have low self-esteem. Personally, I disagree with her. The men I see are well established. I'm not obligated to them. They don't hide me. We go to museums, we go to parks, we go to dinner or flea markets. I'm actually seen in public. We just aren't exclusive with each other. What I need help with is convincing my best friend that I am okay with my love life choices, and when I'm ready to settle down, I will. Please help. I mean, at this point now, you all know the deal. We're going to have a drink while we talk. This time, so this bottle of wine is Relaxed Riesling. If you guys know me or don't know me, why is it dirty in my cup? I am a Riesling drinker. I love a sweet Riesling. I love sweet wine in general. So we're just going to go ahead and pour this one up. Oh, and the bottle is empty. God damn, Shayna. So let's go and hop into my thoughts on this whole thing. Now, I know some of you are actually going to disagree with me on this one. If you do, that's totally fine. But I honestly feel like I believe that we as women can be sexually liberated for our own reasons. I don't feel like we have to constantly have a reason why we want to just sleep with men. Like, I don't think that everything's equated to having low self-esteem or wanting to be liked. I feel like some women genuinely just like to have sex, and I think that's totally okay. I think for you, young lady, I think you don't need to convince anybody of anything. Here's the thing with people, I need y'all to understand, and I want you to kind of, like, you know yourself. Like, you are so, like, even reading your letter, like, you know that I got my own job, I'm doing my own thing, I'm living my life. You have a confidence about yourself. You are self-aware that you can even open your mouth to say, listen, I know what I like, and I just enjoy having exclusive sex with certain people, and that's fine. I honestly, I appreciate that about you because you are very self-aware in that. I think your best friend, she is playing into a societal stereotype, because a lot of times when it comes to plus size women and our sexuality, we are placed in this box where we feel as though we have to give up our bodies in order to be liked, and that's the storyline that we're always told, right? We're constantly told, oh man, the only reason why you sleep with so many guys or because guys sleep with you is because you have no self-esteem and you just want to be liked and you're doing what you think they want to do. And it's just like, that's not always the case. So your homegirl, she's the one with the issue, not really the other way around. I don't think you need to convince her of anything, because quite frankly, if she ain't paying your bills, she ain't cooking your meals, buying your food, and laying the pipe with you, it doesn't really matter. She really is not privy to you having to convince her of anything. I think a lot of times, especially for young women, especially women of color, once we start to hit a certain age, people are like, okay, so you get married or you settling down, and then once you marry, the next question is, oh, so you having kids? Like, there's always this policing of women of color, and for even more for plus size women, I think a lot of times the fact that we can even fall in love, the fact that we can have such awareness of our bodies sexually that we are okay with stepping out of our bounds and saying, hey, listen, I'm not exclusive with you, but I like to genuinely just, like, you know, we have a fling here and there. If I have, you know, I call you up and you want to come by, we have a little bit of fun, call it a day. But you also aware of yourself in saying that, listen, hey, they're well established. They're not looking at me for no money. I'm not giving them nothing. They're not giving me anything. We just go and we hang out. We go to the museum. We go to dinner, and then we might come home and we have a little fun afterwards. I think that's totally okay. If you disagree with me, that's absolutely fine. I feel like as a woman, especially a woman who has her own, you are totally within your rights to do whatever you want with whoever you so choose, as long as you ain't hurting nobody. And from your letter, I don't feel like you're hurting anybody. I feel like you are totally within your rights to be as sexually liberated as you so choose, as long as you're doing it in a safe and positive manner, which I mean, I don't know you, but I feel like based on the fact that you are self-aware, I'm pretty sure you're going safe, you're using the safe route. So I'm kind of sort of here for that. I think the hard part when being a plus size woman is the fact that we have to constantly let people know, like, hey, I am not like the plus size women you know. I am totally okay with my body. I'm totally okay with my sexuality, and trying to live your life in that way. I think so many people find it like intriguing, and it's like, oh wait, but you're plus size, but you can bag men. Like, it's so it's the craziest thing, because that's not something that we're supposed to be doing. We're not supposed to, something that we're allowed to do, because we're big girls, right? You know, we're only fetishized sexually. We're big girls. We don't know what it means to be truly loved, because we just love whoever because they loved us back. Like, we don't know what it means to want quality. We don't know what it means to want to be the best or demand the best out of our partners, because we're not supposed to have quality. You know what I'm saying? As plus size women, we're not supposed to have that sort of quality and standard of sexuality or standard of men, because we're fat. So fat people take whatever they can get, and that's, to some people, when we break out of that mold, it freaks them the hell out. They don't know how to comprehend this whole concept that you're fat, you're fabulous, but you can bag men, and you bag men of quality, and you know, and there are men that you choose to be with, not because they're the only things you can get. Like, you can pick and choose who you want to lay down with, and I think that's an awesome option to have. Like, when you are ready to settle down, then you settle the hell down, because I don't think that at 27, if you ain't ready to settle down, who says you had to? You see what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you are in a place where you want to prove people wrong because you feel like you need to, but you absolutely do not need to prove anybody wrong, because you are living your life on your own terms. And I think that is the most liberating thing you could possibly do. You know, you moved to a new city, you got a job, clearly you're educated, you have your own place, you have your own. You see what I'm saying? So why are you feeling the need to have to convince everybody else of something? That's not your job. That ain't nowhere near your job. And I feel like you need to step out of that. Step out of trying to prove your homegirl right. Nobody cares. Well, she shouldn't care, at least. Stop trying to prove your family right. Families are always gonna bug and fuss you about that. My family does the same to me and my boyfriend. They keep asking, when we finna get married? And we'll get married when we get married. Like, we have no timeline this is gonna happen. And furthermore, and you know, I have friends who are married, and the next question that married people get are, when are you gonna have kids? You know, so there's always gonna be this question of your relationship and your sexuality. That's always gonna be there. But I don't feel like you need to convince anybody to understand anything in your life. That is not your job. It's not your place to have to say, well, see, this is what I'm trying to tell you. This is what I do. You ain't gotta go through all that. You honestly don't have to go through all that. I think what you are doing with yourself and who you choose to lay down with, who you choose to see, date, or whatever, go on dates with, that's your business. And I feel like you step out of this box of having to try to prove people wrong or try to prove something to somebody, because that's not, you know, who got that type of energy? Like, I ain't got that type of time. Like, quite frankly, if I was you, I'd be like, listen, if you're not living in my house and none of my bills are being paid by you, I'm gonna need you to find a seat and have it. Like, and I low-key feel that your homegirl is she being a little jealous. That's just me, because why is you so worried about your sex life? You feel me? Like, I feel like some ain't right, some ain't all the way right there. I feel like she feels kind of way because you haven't mentioned if she was skinny or not. If she is, completely irrelevant, but I just feel like she feels some kind of way, which is why she always feel like, well, you should be doing this. Like, I feel like she's speaking her insecurities into you, because she feels like she can't be as secure in herself as you are, and that freaks her the hell out. That's just me. I don't know, you know, because sometimes it's our homegirls that's the one that's salty with us. Like, I honestly feel like she's real salty. Like, between the levels of like potato chips and ocean, homegirl is salty. Like, that's just me. I could be reading into it differently, but I feel like somebody who is constantly questioning your life and your sexuality, like, girl, why are you doing that? Girl, how can we doing this? Girl, how can we doing that? There's something there that she has not dealt with herself, and she wasn't she needs to project that onto you. I'm not saying y'all need to stop being friends. That's not what I'm saying. But I do think you need to do is you need to address her about it and ask her why she's so involved in what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like a good friend, like, there's nothing wrong with having an opinion and giving your homegirl your thoughts, but I do feel like there is a boundary where you don't come on the side of my life. Like, that's not for you to understand. It's not for you to be questioning. I will share things with you, and I will let you know what's happening with me. However, don't get too comfortable. You feel like you can tell me what I can and cannot do, or why I should be doing something because you don't understand it. So I feel like that's something you need to have with her. That's just my personal opinion, but you know, again, I could be reading into it wrong. But I just feel like something is not right about why she's so involved with your sexual life. I think my honest advice to you is continue just to live your life, and live your life on your own terms. I feel like you are comfortable enough in yourself and in your sexuality to acknowledge that sometimes you just see men exclusively for sex, and that's fine. I think you're grown. You're grown, and I think when the time comes and when you have met somebody who you want to fully gather yourself in, then that's fine. When that time comes, the time comes. But I don't think you need to convince anybody else of trying to get them to understand your life. I don't think that's not your place. You don't have to do that. And I think you're making more work than you need to for yourself. You're trying to prove something that does not need to be proved, and quite frankly, who you go home with and who you lay down with is your business and your business alone. Okay, and like I said, as long as it's done safely, like you guys enter into your sexual relationship or whatever with boundaries and understanding, then you're totally fine. I think if you both know you're not looking for anything, you're just here to have a good time, and you know, if y'all connect, cool. If y'all don't, that's cool. And you're doing your sexual relationship is safe in terms of using the proper protection, then you good. Like, you are so good. You know, you're a young woman who is living her life. And I think sometimes we are policing women's bodies, we're policing women's sexuality, we're policing women's sexual lives, and it's like, why are you worried about who's coming into my bed? So why is it that by 30 we have to be married? Why is it by 30 we have to have X, Y, and Z done? Like, I don't understand. Where did that come from? You know, we're not our mothers, we're not our grandmothers where we were married at 21 and by the time we were 27 we done had 6 kids. Like, so for you, I honestly feel like you don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to convince anybody of anything. You don't have to convince me. You don't have to convince your best friend. You don't have to convince your family, because at the end of the day, you go home to yourself. You lay in your bed, and when that day comes, when the Lord take you from this earth, you go on your own. I find it very refreshing that a woman is so in tune with herself and what she likes and what she's dealing with, because you don't see that, especially with plus size women. Like, that is like society does not put that storyline out there. Like, we're just complete, you know, woe is me. We're always trying to look for love. We're always wanting to be accepted, and how we don't know, like, and then we always have the same storyline of how, oh, I did this because I just wanted to fit in, and oh, I slept with him because I just wanted him to like me. Like, that is the same storyline that we're pushed on a regular basis, and I'm just like, why can't we have a discussion about women, plus as women in general, who are okay with their bodies and are sexually liberated on so many levels? Why can't we have that conversation? Why is it like such an anomaly these days? You know what I mean? Like, we all don't sleep with guys just so we could be accepted, like, and that's not just a plus size woman thing, that's a woman thing. You know what I mean? So I think that you don't need to convince anybody. I think you need to just do your own thing. I think you need to just continue to live your life in the way that you see fit, as long as you ain't hurting nobody, as long as you're being safe and you're using proper protection. Do you. Like, listen, cheers to you, girl. Like, I ain't even mad at it. I can't be mad at all at anything you're doing. Like, come on now. So there you have it, guys. That was my Ask Shay video. If you have any advice for this young lady, please, you know the deal, put it in the comment section below. If you have dealt with this in particular, if you are somebody who is comfortable in her sexuality and you want to lend your voice or some ideas, some tips, please feel free to put it in the description, in the comment section below. I would love to hear your stories. I would love to hear your dialogue. Even if you disagree with what I said, put it down below. Let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation. As always, I love you guys watching this video. You guys know the deal. Thumbs it up if you want to see more videos. I love you. If you have thoughts, if you have questions about my hair, no, I did not cut my locks, folks. I have a video on my channel talking about how I got my box braids done. I still have my locks. Don't worry. I got y'all when I take these braids out. The lock tutorials are coming back, I promise. As always, I'm Shay of thethickgirlscloset.com. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in my next video. Deuces, guys.